I became a male escort around 3 years ago, and there was one client in particular that I just can't seem to get over, because after crying in my arms for a night and trying to be what she needed, she vanished, and I haven't heard from her since. I never imagined I'd end up here. I'm 26 now, but this started 3 years ago. I moved to Mumbai fresh out of college, chasing the same dream as thousands of others. Good job, good life. But reality hit hard. The jobs I got barely paid enough for rent, and I was drowning in credit card debt. One night, I was out drinking with some guys I knew, and the conversation turned to side gigs. Someone joked about how women would pay for company, even if nothing happened. I laughed it off. But later, one of them pulled me aside and said, "If you're serious, I know a guy." Desperation makes you consider things you never thought you would. A week later, I met a guy who ran an escort service. Nothing seedy, no shady brothels, just private clients, mostly wealthy women looking for companionship. I thought it was BS. Then he showed me the money. 15,000 rupees. Editor's note, around $170 for a few hours. No pressure, no obligations beyond what I was comfortable with. I told myself I'd do it just once. Just to clear some debt. That was 3 years ago. Most of my clients aren't what people expect. They're not all rich housewives looking for affairs. Some are divorced, some are in dead marriages, some just need someone to listen to them without judgment. The first time, I was terrified. I met a woman in her late 30s at a hotel in Bandra. She was nervous too. Kept apologizing, saying she'd never done this before. We talked for an hour before anything even happened. It wasn't just about intercourse for her, she wanted to feel wanted again. Some clients don't even want intimacy. I've been paid just to have dinner and act like a boyfriend for a few hours. Some women just want someone to listen. On to the client who broke me. A few months ago, I met a woman who booked me through a reference. She was in her early 30s, not rich like my usual clients. When I asked why she reached out, she said, "I just want to feel normal for one night." She had just come out of an abusive marriage. Her ex-husband had broken her, made her feel like she wasn't worth anything. She wasn't looking for intercourse. She just wanted someone to hold her, tell her she was beautiful, and remind her that she was still a person. That night, she cried in my arms. And for the first time, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Because this wasn't just a job anymore. It was someone's pain. And I had stepped into it, pretending I knew how to make it better. She never booked me again. But I still think about her. Why I can't stop. I used to tell myself this was just temporary. That I'd quit once I saved enough. But the truth is, this job gives me a kind of power and control I never had before. I know how to make people feel good, how to become what they need for a night. And in a strange way, that makes me feel needed too. But some nights, when I come home alone, I wonder, am I really in control, or am I just as lost as the people who hire me? Update. To the woman who shattered in my arms. You walked in with quiet eyes and a tired smile, carrying a weight no one else could see. You said you just wanted to feel normal for a night. But normal people don't hold their own hands like they're afraid to let go. Normal people don't flinch at kindness, like it's something they don't deserve. I watched you unravel, piece by piece, your voice barely a whisper between sobs. "I'm sorry," you kept saying, like your pain was something you had to apologize for. Like your suffering was an inconvenience to the world. But that night, you weren't just another client. You weren't a transaction. You were someone who needed to be held, and for once, I forgot the lines I wasn't supposed to cross. I let you cry into my chest, gripping my shirt like it was the only thing keeping you from falling apart completely. I ran my fingers through your hair, telling you it was okay, even though it wasn't. Even though nothing about that night was okay. And then, morning came. You wiped your tears, fixed your hair, and left. No name. No number. I sat there long after you were gone, wondering how many nights you had cried alone before that one. Wondering if you ever found someone who didn't just hold you for a night, but held you long enough to make you believe you deserved it. I don't know where you are now. But if you ever find yourself breaking again, I hope there's someone there to catch you. Someone who won't just hold you for a night, but for as long as you need.